Our focus for today is how to establish and nurture psychological safety within the organization. We are basing our discussion on BIP core concept, the model of human potential, which highlights 3 key factors for human potential development: mindset, well-being, and opportunities. So, what is psychological safety? It is shared belief held by members of the team that the team will not embarrass, reject, or punish you for speaking up. The fact is, when we feel safe, we become more open, more resistant to criticism, motivated, and consistent. If we don't feel safe, we won't give the best at our work, we won't be able to be the best version of ourselves, and we won't be able to make the best choices in any case. So, who are our guest speakers?
I'm Tamara Valentic. Most of you know me from Slovenia here. I'm an independent HRM consultant working for mostly small to mid-sized companies, mostly high-tech and also startups. I am happy that Maya invited me to co-create the BIP Institute. I joined with pleasure. I was at the very beginning with her in her core team, but Maya now developed the real inspiring vision of what the BIP Institute is about. I joined without thinking. Today, I hope I will be sharing you some practices about how to establish psychological safety, and also some not so good practices or examples and the consequences, what happens to personal human potential afterwards.
I'm Olivier Montant. I'm from France. Currently, I have 2 positions. I'm a change facilitator in a business that I run, and I'm a trainer and supervisor in transactional analysis. And I will give you the perspective of transactional analysis on psychological safety, both at the individual and organizational level. And I will share with you some examples from my practice. And I'm really happy to be here with you. And I love Slovenia because I've been teaching in Slovenia from 2009 to 2012 TA with some of your colleagues. And I love this country.
My name is Sattler. I'm from Ljubljana, personal trainer, gym owner, and also strength and conditioning coach for the youth generation at Olympia. And at the moment, I'm in Saudi Arabia, where I'm also a strength and conditioning coach in this part of the world. So my passion is to help other people. Doing this since forever almost. I've been enjoying basketball all over the place, all over the world. But as most of you guys, I'm also really happy to be here present at this roundtable because I think I'm going to learn a lot of new stuff. But from my perspective, I'm just going to show you what can be done as individual persons and also what can be done inside of a team and how to get better as a team and also as individuals, and why being physical active is really important and how this translates into our life, business life, personal life, and everything else.
When you mentioned the theme, I came to the concept of fundamental needs in TA, in transactional analysis. And Bernd said that all human beings have 3 main needs. We have a need for structure, what time, where, why. We have a need for recognition. We are human beings. We are social animals, and we need to have the recognition of other people. And we have a need for activity, doing things. And these fundamental needs, if they are not fulfilled at an individual level, will go in stress. We will feel distress. For example, if you observe a meeting, some people are not able to work until they have a clear structure and agenda. Other people, they cannot work if they don't know the people around, if they don't know their mood. And from other people, they are ready to jump into the work. When shall we start? And when we speak of structure and recognition, it's lost. It's time that has been lost. And this leads to 2 conclusions. First, we have our own preferred needs. and we project that other people are the same. First mistake. In business, during business hour, we are constantly exposed to business situation where we may be lacking of the needs we have. We may be lacking of recognition of activity or structure, and we have to build it. As you said previously, Sabina, building psychological safety is an exercise. It's a process. It has to be done. Mm-hmm. And we can learn to fulfill our needs.
What are the consequences if these needs are not fulfilled, if the psychological safety is not established?
If those needs are not fulfilled, we will enter into distress. And distress means in transactional analysis that the energy will be put elsewhere than the adult. Maybe for some people into the child, which is a part of personality from the past, or even in our parents. And dealing with situations regarding other people, the situation, the business situation, we have not a clear consciousness of the situation. We may be focused only on ourselves, forgetting other people, and my boss is expecting something from me, but I don't notice it because I am in my head. For example, I'm a structure guy. If I have not an agenda, a timing, something like that, I can't be present to a meeting. And yesterday with you, Sabina, we defined what should I do, what should I say, how long, and things like that. Because unless I have this, I cannot work. And if I'm in this condition, I wouldn't have a clear consciousness of the situation. I can make a mountain from a mole and things like that. So I lose my consciousness. Maybe I won't give the effective response that is needed. For example, I'm in a meeting, I'm not very well. So at the body level, dry throat, a weight on my chest, my legs shaking. Cognitive level, wow, I would like to be out of here. Feeling, I fear. Mm-hmm. And behavior, I withdraw. I stay like that. And at a certain moment of the meeting, someone is talking about a new project affecting my department. I knew nothing about this project, and I answer no question because I'm not in the state of mind of doing it. And at some times, as I feel I don't feel very well, I can engage into a conflict during the meeting, because a conflict is a good way to structure some time and to get some recognitions. So when we are when our needs are not fulfilled, we are at risk, individual level, at a relational level, and at an organizational level.
So you were talking on the individual level. How does that reflect on the organizational level? So accumulated, what happens with the processes of work and the results?
The results are not met, and people who are not satisfying well enough their needs are at risk of being fired in the end.
You know that the new currency is trust. Trust in people, trust in organization, the feeling that you are being trusted and that you trust organization. I was reading somewhere that now into 2020, when the trust in government, trust in medicine, trust in practically everything around the globe is falling, the organizations are to be more trusted, the only anchor of trust. People are searching within their working environment. But what I was noticing was that even where organizations had a huge, very well-established level of trust, in times of crisis, in times of March 2020, let's say, a lot of communication was needed, a lot of communication, even though there was a lot of trust already. Why? because coming back to these three basic human needs, we suddenly during the night stayed out of structure for the very beginning. Even though there was a structure, there were some directions how we work. We felt like what we are working from home now. When do we have meetings? What are we doing? So activity was endangered immediately after that. If there was no organization, clear communication, and new ways of communication. Some companies were well prepared upfront, starting thinking about it in February already. Others were practically were witnessing 2 weeks of chaos just because of that. Just even though if they had trust, just because of the lack of structure, lack of activity, recognition came at the very last. So trust was the key issue. And I was witnessing people questioning themselves at home. Am I working enough? Are they noticing that I am working enough and that I'm doing a good job?
Individual, what can I do to be aware of my needs first? For example, if I need of recognition, you can ask your boss some feedbacks about your work. But you have to learn to do it. You have to create your inner safety in order to ask in an effective and audible way.
First, you need to be aware of the needs that are most relevant for you. Then you also need to learn how to ask for the needs to be fulfilled and not just expect everyone else to think about your needs and how to fulfill them. Because at the end of the day, we're all human, we all have needs. So if everyone just takes care of themselves, they're more able to take care of others. And then you mentioned as the third step to take care of yourself and stay grounded.
And through techniques of nonviolent communication, you can develop your ability to create your own psychological safety. Because it's about you, but it's about the relationship with other people too. We can develop our own personal safety.
Psychological safety is not a fixed concept, so it can be changed. Ability to open up and make mistakes has growth written all over it, right? So it's not a fixed concept. As soon as we start thinking that we can change that, we're done, right? So I think we have to be open-minded about it. All those things that we need to get better, we need to do in each day. We need to do, and this is the most important, being consistent.
As a manager, I would visit my team. I would say good morning. I would have some time with them, like a ritual. So I could be aware of what's going on their activity, and I could give them some time, some recognition. And very often people tell me, oh, it takes me too much time to do this. And I speak as an investment, because you show yourself, you can exchange, and you can manage by being a model.
Let's do in the morning something for ourselves. Okay, some mobility drill, something to get our blood flow going. You know, it doesn't have to be much, 10, 15 minutes. After that, you can have 10, 15 minutes to go through the to-do list that you did the last night. Okay. Oh, and you focus on that, when, what, and how you're going to do that. After that, small changes. Okay. If it's like suddenly too many things, it's going to be too much. It's going to be system overload. So I'm all for like small, tiny steps that you do each day. Okay. When you get better with that, okay, let's do it in the evening. We're going to do, or afternoon when you have time, plan your day that you're going to have 1 hour for you, walking, running, training, whatever. Okay. So because with activity and structure, there will also be recognition. Everybody else will notice that you feel better, you do better work at job, people will start to hang out with you more and stuff like that. So this is basically it. Small steps, do it like every day, and I guarantee after 2-3 weeks, the change will be there for sure.
I only have one word this time.
Okay.
And it's valid for a person or organization or a leader. Just be yourself and be authentic. As a person, I feel safe, I feel psychologically safe when I am myself, myself, the true me, so authentic. Same goes to organizations. If we want to build trust, we need to keep a level of authenticity firm so that we know who we are as an organization, as a team members, as a manager. If one day a manager comes to the office acting totally different as he was acting 3 days ago, being a totally different person, what will happen? We will freak out. What just happened? Is it so the trust component will be a bit endangered? So authenticity everywhere.